My so-called life is sponsored by So it definitely was a busy week here in the House of Sewing. I managed to make a beautiful cloak that I have been intending to make for a while. I also made a pair of tweed pants, a hoodie, and I rescued 2 sewing machines. But like I always say, instead of talking about it, let's go check it out.
Our house is a very, very, very fine house.
In over half the homes in America, people rely on Kenmore appliances. No other brand can outsparkle, outfluff, or outsatisfy a Kenmore. So you don't have to go far to find the best. Come over to our house. Kenmore, in 1 out of 2 homes in America, and exclusively at Sears.
So there I was, minding my own business, wandering through my local thrift store. And I found another sewing table. You know, it's not like I leave my house saying, William, you're going to complicate your life with another sewing table. But here we are. This time, this table actually has a sewing machine in it. Last week, I purchased a table because I wanted something I could float around the house, I could walk around with. And a week later, my plants are still living on it. But with all that being said, I purchased a beautiful Sears Kenmore sewing machine, and it's an absolute workhorse. But like I always say, instead of talking about it, let's go check it out. Oh, brother. So, moment of truth. We're going to find out how this Sears Kenmore sewing machine sews. I'm actually really excited because I've nursed this thing back to health. So, let's find out. Oh, look at that. Look at how perfect that is. And we're going at 100 miles an hour now. Oh, that's perfection. I know you can't see that, but this lays down the perfect stitch on both sides. I'm actually really excited because sometimes these machines are completely hit or miss, but this is definitely a victory here in the House of Sewing. Oh, hold on. Welcome to the fleet, kid. Like I said, this is definitely a victory here in the House of Sewing. So this week in Tweed, I decided to make a beautiful pair of pants. Depending on the yardage, sometimes I do not know if I'm going to make a jacket, a pair of pants, a vest. But with this particular design, I am so glad that I made a pair of pants. They look amazing. The design is all over the place. It definitely fits the look that I'm going for. I love the way tweed feels, and this time of year, these pants are perfect for when the weather starts getting a little bit cooler. So I am definitely calling this a victory here in the House of Sewing. So last week, while I was sitting around, I asked myself, why have you not made a cloak? It's been a while. About 2 or 3 years ago, I went through a phase and I made quite a few cloaks. I made heavy, light, everything you could possibly think of. I turned into a cloak. So it's been a while, but I am so glad that I decided to make this out of the material that I purchased from the San Fernando Valley swap meet. This rose material is perfect for something like this, and it looks amazing. The hood was all over the place, and many lessons were learned. But all in all, I absolutely love how this came out. This is definitely something that I would not wear on a windy day because they might find you in the next county. But all in all, I am definitely going to call this a victory here in the House of Sewing. So I am continuing to clean here in the House of Sewing, and I am rediscovering all of these crazy things that I purchased during my adventures. I completely forgot that I had cow print fabric. So I decided to go classic my so-called life and make a hoodie. And once again, I have completely fallen in love. I love wearing something like this. This is something that I wore to the grocery store, and quite a few people turned and looked at me. Especially because today we had 30 and 40-mile-an-hour winds in my hometown, so it was interesting today. But I love how this came out. I once again added the giant hood. It's something that I love. It puts a smile on my face, and I will continue to do it. But all in all, I am definitely calling this a victory here in the House of Sewing. So this is definitely a mystery sewing machine. In the past 4 months, I have gone on at least 5 trips back and forth to Las Vegas. I thrift all over the San Fernando Valley and Los Angeles County. And I cannot remember where I purchased this sewing machine. But this is something that was completely seized that I brought back to life on a live stream. And this machine is a perfect backup machine. But like I always say, instead of talking about it, let's go check it out. So, after further review, this machine is definitely going to have to go back to the shop. It's not always victories here in the House of Sewing. So, if you've made it this far, I absolutely thank you. And like I always say, reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely see you next time.